What's going on, guys? It's Necro Ninja here, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to do the Deep Stone Crypt raid. In this guide I will show you all of the mechanics, where all of the secret chests are, and even where all the datapad collectibles are, so you can go ahead and get that fancy ghost shell. But before we begin, if you haven't clicked that like and subscribe button down below, please do so. Your support is greatly appreciated and it helps me make these videos. So without further ado, let's get into the raid. So the very first part of this is kind of like a Sparrow maze-like section. You're gonna notice that there are platforms with bubbles on them. Standing inside the bubble, you are safe. If you are outside of the bubble, you're gonna start getting stacks of cold, and if you hit 10, you will freeze and die. So you're gonna wanna make your way from bubble to bubble as fast as possible. It is pretty easy to get lost in here, but if you just follow this path that I am showing you, you should be fine. You'll also notice along the way that there are glow sticks. They indicate the pathway that you should be going. So if you follow the glow sticks, it'll lead you to the next bubble. Another important tip is when you get to a bubble, you're gonna wanna clear out all of the ads there. Just in case you do mess up and you die, you will respawn at the nearest bubble that has no ads at it. There are also little teleporters on each of the plates, so if one of your friends gets lost, you could teleport back to go and help them. Once you get to the end, the final bubble, there is a secret chest, so if you follow this pathway, I will show you where it is and get that for you. This is one of the easiest secret chests to get to, so if you ever just want to get some free loot, you could just do this maze and you should grab it. For our first data pad that we're going to want to grab, once we make it into the Deep Stone Crypt, if you just follow me, I will lead you right to it. Alright, welcome to the first encounter. This is a security. It's going to be a little bit of a mixture of ad clear and a little bit of DPS. For DPS weapon, I highly recommend using Xenophage. If you don't have a Xenophage, a linear fusion rifle or another machine gun is going to be helpful here. So the first thing you're going to notice is that there is a red buff in a terminal. This red buff is called the operator buff. This buff is basically used to interact with the electronics in the raid. Mostly little panels. They'll glow red, you can shoot them, it'll open a door, it'll do a thing. The next buff that you can't see right now is a yellow buff, and it is called the scanner buff. The scanner buff is going to spawn on top of an enemy on the dark side of this room. You'll notice that the room, it is divided between dark and light. What the scanner buff does, it is going to show you what you need to shoot, what you need to interact with. Those will glow yellow. In this encounter particularly, the scanner buff is going to show you what panels you need to shoot as the operator. There are two floors to this encounter. The floor below this is where all of the panels that you would need to shoot as the operator are. The goal is to shoot the 4 correct panels to open the security chamber. That way we can damage the coils. Now it's important to note that you want to get everybody on the same page, so this is how I labeled the panels down below. While you are holding the scanner, you can look through little windows to see these panels, and they will glow yellow if they need to be shot. So this is dark 1, this is dark 2, this is dark 3, This is dark 4 right here on the pillar, and then dark 5 is on the wall. Over on the light side, we have light 1, light 2, light 3, light 4 on the pillar, and light 5 on the wall. You're gonna want to split the team up into 2 teams. We're gonna have 3 on the light side and 3 on the dark side. One person on the dark side will kill the scanner enemy and pick up scanner and start doing the scanning work. They will look through the windows, they will find the glowing yellow panels, and they will call that out for the operator. On the light side, the operator is going to, one person is going to grab the operator buff from the terminal. Now, the way Bungie intends this to get done is with 2 scanners, where the scanner on the dark side will scan the dark side stuff and then pass the scanner buff through the terminal over to the next side, and then someone from the light side would grab it and then do the scanning there. However, to make things far more simple, we're going to do the 1 scanner method. So that means the first person to pick up the scanner is just going to hold it the entire time. They will do their scans for dark side. Once they are ready, they will go to the back door. Operator will shoot the door, which will open the back doors. Operator will let the scanner run through to the light side, and then the operator will go down and start shooting the panels. The scanner will then scan the light side for the operator. Once the operator has shot all 4 panels, that is 2 on the dark side and 2 on the light side, that will open up the tubes. However, if you shoot a random tube without knowing which one you need to shoot, it is going to cause a white mechanic. To find out what tube you need to shoot, we need to give the scanner buff to the operator. So the operator is going to put the operator buff into their terminal. Someone will grab the operator buff out of it. Whoever's holding scanner will then put their buff into the terminal. The person who is downstairs will grab it, and then they're going to look up at the glowing fuses that are above them. There are 3 on the light side, 3 on the dark side. Whatever one is glowing, they're going to call out to the top side people, and they are going to shoot that. They'll keep doing this until the damage phase is over. Once damage phase is over, if you didn't destroy all 6 tubes, since the person down low is holding the scanner buff, after damage phase is over, they're going to run around and they're going to grab all the scans. Call it out for whoever picked up the operator buff. Now, they gotta be quick because there is a timer down low. If you spend too long down low, you are going to fry. You're gonna burn to death. If you shoot the wrong panel down low, you are also going to burn to death. So speed and precision is proper. Once the scanner has grabbed all 4 scans, they will make their way to the door. Operator will shoot the door, letting them out. They will go downstairs, they will shoot the next 4 panels, and it is a rinse and repeat. Now, if you are down low and you don't think that you can grab all 4 scans before you start burning to death, pretty simple, just go ahead and grab 2 of them, start over on the dark side, grab the 2 dark side, and then come over, deposit the scanner buff into the terminal, and then wait for the operator to let you out. At that point, somebody on the light side can grab the scanner buff and they can make the scans while the dark is being shot by the operator. There are overload champions in this encounter, so if you would be so kind to bring overload things here, make your life a lot easier. But the tubes are not very hard to destroy. They're pretty easy. It's pretty safe to assume that if you go fast enough, you will then 1 phase the tube. But if not, 2 phases, nice and easy. So right after the first encounter, there is another data pad. If you just follow this pathway, I will again show you where it is. Alright, so the second encounter is Atraks, or I guess technically first real boss fight. I mean, security kind of counts as a boss. So we're going to have our same 2 buffs. We're going to have the red operator buff and we're going to have the yellow scanner buff. They're going to function relatively the same. So what we're going to want to do is that there are elevators that go up to the 2nd floor, which is basically space. Those are in the back. Be careful not to touch the purple ball, that will start the encounter. Also more on that purple ball a little bit later. We're going to split the team up into 2 teams of 3 again. We're going to have 3 people downstairs and 3 people upstairs. Now right off the rip, you're only going to send 2 people into the elevators upstairs. The third person that is supposed to go upstairs is going to hang back a little bit because they're going to need to find the operator buff. It'll spawn on top of an ad. They need to kill that ad, pick up the operator buff, and then head upstairs with them. They'll notice that the panels next to the elevators are red. You can shoot those and those will send the elevators up and down. Very important that after you grab the operator buff and then you make your way up to the 2nd floor, that you then go ahead and send down all of the elevators to the bottom floor so that they at some point can make their way upstairs, because that is where the climax of this encounter is going to happen. When it comes to doing DPS to this boss, you're going to want to have something that has a very high burst of damage. The Parasite is probably the best gun to use here. If you do not have the Parasite, throw in a sword. Those actually work very well as well. Now, as the encounter goes along, sniper shanks are going to spawn. You're going to want to kill as many sniper shanks as possible. Kill them all, honestly. After you do that, servitors are going to spawn. Servitors will spawn on the bottom floor and on the top floor. The operator buff will come out with these bottom servitors, and the scanner buff will come out on top of an ad with the top servitors. Bottom floor, you can kill your servitors, all of them, right away, as immediately as possible. For the upstairs servitors, you're going to want to leave 1 servitor alive. Generally, we leave the right one, but you just go ahead and pick a servitor that you want to keep alive. The reason we do that is because as soon as all of the servitors are dead, that is when the white mechanic begins. All of the Atraks that you see are going to start glowing and they're going to make a white mechanic. You're going to need to find the proper Atraks and kill it. You'll notice in the health bar there is a small threshold of damage that you can do to kill it and stop the white mechanic. This can be over damaged by a lot. So that's why you're going to want a lot of burst damage. Just all the burst damage real quick before the Atraks copy fades away. To find the proper Atraks, the person who picks up the scanner buff is going to be looking for the Atraks that is glowing yellow. Whatever one is glowing yellow, that is the one you need to kill. If you damage the Atraks that is not glowing yellow, it will start the white mechanic and you will all die. Once you have killed that Atraks, the yellow one, the scanner should deposit the scanner buff immediately into one of the 3 terminals that are located around the room. Bottom team, you will then pick up the scanner and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to look for the proper Atraks down low and you will kill it as well. When an Atraks copy dies, it is going to drop a purple ball. If that ball is left unattended for too long, it'll explode and everyone will die. What we need to do is we need to deposit it into the vacuum of space. Upstairs there are, I believe, 4 airlocks. When somebody runs over the purple ball, it'll attach to them above their head and they will have a timer. If that timer hits 0, it'll kill you, spawn another copy of Atraks, and then wipe the entire team. The operator will need to lead the person who has the purple ball over their head to one of the airlocks. They will shoot the panel, it'll open the door, the person with the purple ball will walk inside the airlock, and then the operator will shoot the purple ball off their head. Very important that the operator is the only one that can shoot the purple ball off their head. If for whatever reason the operator accidentally picks up the purple ball, there's a couple ways that you can solve this. You have enough time to deposit the operator buff into the terminal and have someone else pick it up and then shoot it off for you. Or if you have a gun with ricochet rounds, you could go and hug a wall and try to shoot it off yourself. But honestly, just depositing the buff into the terminal and then having someone else pick it up is far more productive than standing there and trying to shoot it off your head. Downstairs team, once you've killed your Atraks, when someone picks up the purple ball, they will need to take an elevator upstairs and then follow the directions of the operator. Whoever's holding the scanner down low will need to deposit their scanner into the terminal so that the upstairs team can go ahead and do another round of DPS. There are 4 DPS rounds per phase. Always starts on top, pass the buff down, bottom does their thing, pass the buff up, top does their thing, pass the buff down, bottom does their thing. If you are doing the Parasite method, it is pretty easy to knock Atraks out in 1 or 2 of these damage phases. Get her down to the final stand. If you're rocking a bunch of Thunder Crashing Titans, you could probably just do 1 damage phase and it'd be all set. Otherwise, just rinse and repeat the process until you get to the final stand. Now, for final stand, we're going to want to have everybody come upstairs. All of the Atraks copies will spawn upstairs. Whoever is holding the scanner buff will need to find the correct Atraks. Honestly, having a Thunder Crash Titan here is pretty simple. Just one Thunder Crash wipes out the entire last stand. If not, just be coordinated with the entire team and then go for it. If you don't finish her off on the first part of the final stand, you will then quickly need to find another copy that is glowing yellow and kill it as well. Keep doing that until she is dead. And there it is. You just beat Atraks. Alright, right after Atraks, there is something that Deepstone is pretty known for, and that is the Deepstone Lullaby in this jumping part. So when you get here, go ahead and turn your volume up and listen to this beautiful, beautiful song. There is a secret chest here and 2 more data pads in this jumping puzzle. So if you go ahead and just follow me, I will show you the secret chest first, which really isn't secret because it's kind of just there along the way anyways, but it is here. After grabbing the secret chest, we are going to go ahead and grab the 3rd data pad. You just follow me. And then after grabbing this 3rd data pad, we're going to move on and grab the 4th data pad. Once everybody gets through the jumping puzzle, there is 1 more data pad to grab before we move on to the 3rd encounter. Just follow me here and we'll get that for you. Once you get it, you can go ahead and claim the triumph in your triumphs and get your ghost shell. Alright, for the 3rd encounter, this one is fun and a bit chaotic. Here, we're going to be adding a 3rd buff. This one's blue. This one's called Suppressor. What this does, it actively suppresses Taniks. So we're going to be floating between these little balls here, the kind of like Star Wars droids. While standing under it, you will see that Taniks is going to glow blue. You shoot him until he's not blue, then you move on to the next ball, shoot him until he's not blue, move on to the next ball, shoot him until he's not blue. Once you do that in all 3 of them, he will stun. Stunning is very important because it's going to unlock the boxes that you're going to be placing the nukes in. Yes, there are nukes here. The other two buffs are present as well. We have the scanner buff and the operator buff here. They both relatively do the same exact thing as they have been through the entire raid. The scanner buff is going to tell you which of the boxes you will be putting the bombs into. If you put the bomb into a wrong box, it will kill you. And the operator buff is going to be, again, opening the bombs. It's going to let you interact with the electronic panels. By shooting the panel, it will open the bombs so that you guys can grab them from the safety and then put them into the box. There are overload champions here, so if you would like to run something with overload not on, that'd be great. This is purely ad clear. It's chaotic. There are ads non-stop spawning everywhere, so put on your best ad clear gear. All three of these buffs are going to be on top of an enemy. At the start of the encounter, you're going to want to just look them out, find them, and kill them. Pick up the buff. Doesn't matter who picks up what buff, as long as somebody has a buff. All three buffs are accounted for. You will notice that those terminals are, again, here. There are three of them. There's one on the right, one in the middle, and one on the left. Every round, at the end of the round, one of the buffs is going to get deactivated. You will then need to put that buff into a terminal, and then someone else will need to grab it out of the terminal to be that buff. We want to make sure that we grab the bombs before the timer on them go to 0, because if they go to 0, they're going to blow up. While you are carrying a bomb, you're going to get radiation stacks. If that radiation stack hits 10, you will die. And then you'll drop the bomb. And then the timer will go. And then if no one picks it up, you're all going to die. You can steal the bombs away from your teammates. So if your teammate's like, oh crap, I'm at 7, 8 stacks, someone can run by and grab that bomb away from them and save them so you don't have to watch them die. So the way this happens is you will hear an alarm. Operator will then see the panels glowing red. 3 out of the 4 panels will glow red. All you got to do is shoot one of them. It doesn't matter which one, just shoot one of the glowing red ones. It'll then unlock the bombs from their position. Scanner should be somewhere in the middle, looking at the boxes that are in front of them and making the call out. There are several different ways that you can do call outs. You can number them 1 through 4. We like to use window and spawn, window being, the giant window in front of you, and spawn being where you place the flag. But you guys can go ahead and label those however you like. I believe most LFGs will label them window and spawn. There might be also a good handful of people that label them with numbers. So scanner will call those out. The people who are carrying the bombs will place those bombs in there, but we have to get those boxes open first. So the suppressor should be suppressing Taniks to unlock the boxes so people can put the bombs in. The faster the suppressor goes, the faster this encounter goes, and the less likely someone is going to die from holding a bomb. You'll just need to go ahead and rinse and repeat this process until the center floor opens up. You'll hear a line of dialogue and the floor will open up. Everybody should fall through and then run for their lives towards the exit. Once you get to the exit, you just hang on and the ship will crash, and then that's the encounter. Alright, so for the 4th and final encounter with our final boss, Mr. Taniks himself. When it comes to damage here, if you have Divinity, somebody should use Divinity. If you don't have, nobody on the team has Divinity, it's okay. In this run here, in the footage that you've seen below, we purposely made it so that nobody was using Divinity to kind of show you that process of doing it without having Divinity. But having Divinity definitely makes this encounter a little bit easier because his crit spot is his head and you're going to be really close, so it is kind of hard to hit it, but it's okay. Our same 3 buffs are back. We have the suppressor buff, the scanner buff, and the operator buff. Now, the way that we're going to do this encounter is not the way that Bungie really want to do the encounter. This is kind of the challenge method that we're doing. It ends up being the by far easier way to do the encounter than just the normal way. So we are going to be doing what we call the 4 bomb strat. And with this 4 bomb strat, that means that scanner buff is completely useless and we do not need to worry about scanner buff at all. But to give you just a quick rundown of what scanner buff would do if we were to use the proper method of doing this encounter, you normally would drop 2 bombs at a time off of Taniks, which I will explain in a minute. And then the scanner buff would then scan the six boxes and see which 2 are glowing, and then direct the 2 people who picked up bombs to go to those boxes and deposit them. But since we're dropping all 4 bombs, we do not need the scanner buff because they're all just going to go into the boxes that they need to go into, which I will explain right now. So we just need to make sure that there are 2 people on each of the locations. There is the spawn location where we are right now, where we place the flag. There is blue, and then there is yellow. Both are indicated just because of the light that is there. Blue has a blue light, yellow has a yellow light. Over at yellow is where the suppressor enemy is going to spawn. You'll need to kill that ad, pick up that suppressor buff. Over on spawn is where the operator buff spawns. You'll need to kill that ad and pick up the buff. Scanner spawns over blue. Again, don't matter here. Now, operator's role has changed slightly. There are no panels for you to shoot here. Instead, there is going to be a big ball. A big ball that will trap whoever is carrying a bomb in it. If you have the operator buff, you will need to shoot the ball to release them and let them continue running to their destination. Suppressor is going to be doing the same thing they did last encounter by suppressing Taniks to open up the boxes so we can place the bombs in them. Now you're probably like, Necro, where the hell are we getting these bombs from? On Taniks, because he is a giant shank right now, he has 4 turbines. When you break a turbine, it will drop a bomb. We want to break all 4 turbines at the same time. The 4 people who are not suppressor or operator will need to pick up a bomb. Now you're probably like, Necro, where do we go if we don't have the scanner buff to tell us where the bombs go? It's pretty simple. Wherever Taniks goes and moves himself before we pop the bombs, whether it be yellow or it be spawn, he never goes to blue on the first one. I don't know why. I have never seen him go to blue in the first one ever. So it is either going to be yellow or spawn. He'll go there, he'll flare up his turbines, we'll pop all the bombs, and we'll pick them up. You will then take all 4 of the bombs to the 4 boxes that he is not at. So, for example, I know that it was a little confusing. For example, if he goes to spawn, the 2 boxes that are at spawn, you do not deposit anything into those. You will then take your 4 bombs and go to a blue, to a yellow. If he goes to yellow, it'll be 2 at blue, 2 at spawn. If he goes to blue, it's 2 at yellow, 2 at spawn. Make sense? Suppressor will need to suppress Taniks. There are 3 of those little android ball things on each of the locations. You'll just do the same thing that you did in the last encounter, stand under the ball, he'll be blue, shoot him until he's not blue, move to the next one, shoot until he's not blue, move to the next one, shoot until he's not blue. Shortly after you hit the 3rd ball, one of the buffs is going to become deactivated. If it is suppressor or operator, just go ahead and throw those into one of the terminals that are located around the arena, and then you can re-pick it up after DPS. Once we deposited all of the bombs, we're all going to meet up over here in this section that we are right now. Taniks is going to create a giant magnetic field, and he's going to be throwing debris around him. We want to be careful. We cannot do damage from outside of the magnetic field, so we're going to have to go inside the magnetic field. Be very careful to not get hit with debris when you try to move into the magnetic field, because if you get hit with it, it is 90% of the time an insta-kill, or it will throw you to Kingdom Come. There is a precise little location that you want to be in the magnetic field. If you go too far forward, you are then going to be getting electrocuted and you're going to die. If you're too far back, you're going to get hit with debris and you're going to die. So you want to find that nice little juicy center. While we're in this magnetic field, we are just doing damage. Do as much damage as possible. Again, if you're using Divinity, the bubble is going to be right below him, makes it nice and easy to hit. I highly recommend using linear fusion rifles if you're using div, rocket launchers if you want. You can Izzy swap if you're feeling fancy. At a certain point, he is going to kick everybody out of the electromagnetic field. You will then just go ahead and need to make your way back into it, do more damage. He will kick you out again, make your way back in, do more damage. You get 3 damage phases when we do the 4 bomb method. If you don't kill him outright, get him to the final stand, it is okay. You just rinse, repeat, and do everything again. No big deal. As the encounter is going, you're going to notice that there are going to be purple beams of light that come down. These are Taniks' meteor strikes. Do not stand in them. They will one-shot you and kill you. Get away from them, get out of them, get as far away as possible. When it comes to the final stand is nothing too special. He is going to start teleporting between each of the 3 locations. Just locate him and then kill him, while avoiding meteor strikes that will be popping up a lot more frequently at this point. Then, once he's dead, just go ahead and collect your loot, and hopefully maybe you got eyes on tomorrow. Who knows? But you guys just successfully completed Deepstone Crypt. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't, click that like and subscribe button down below. Please do so. And I will see you guys in the next one. I love you. Have a great day.